Hi, it is Thursday and it is the regular time for the Heartfelt Conversations. Hi, I'm Iskra Petrova, the Clarity and Confidence Coach and the Self Empowerment Mentor. And today we're having our regular weekly Thursday Heartfelt Conversation. This week we are talking about connectedness. Do you know what is connectedness? It is a bit of mouthful word, and people define it as the the way we belong, the way we feel affinity to a group of people or to someone. And we are going to look at the different aspects of feeling connected. We started talking about connections, heart connections, connectedness with ourselves and with others on Tuesday during the co-creation circle in the Blooming Confidence Club. And we had so much fun because we started developing stories, and I'm going to offer you some of this experience as well. Then we continued talking about connectedness and connections on Wednesday at the first midweek roundtable that is taking place in my free Facebook community. You will find the link below after we finish this heartfelt conversation today. And now I want to have this live conversation, live co creation with all of you across time and spaces, because you might be watching the replay, you might be joining us live. So please let me know, where are you connecting from which social media. We're streaming live on several platforms. And I would like also to open now the chat to be connecting with you. Connections and connectedness. Do you find it easy? Is it easier for you to connect with yourself or to connect with others? What is required to create the ground, the space for this connection? Some people may find it really easy to be outgoing, to open conversations, to share their life story in moments, in minutes. And I felt like that after I spent quite some time, around 2 years, in Greece, and I absorbed this very beautiful, warm energy of the Greek people. And then it was so easy for me to enter a coffee shop, and in the next 5 minutes, I would already feel I'm best friend with the shop owner or with the shop attendant, and we were telling stories, we were making plans together. So I found it really easy to be connecting with people. But this was not the case many years back, when I felt really closed, not secure, not knowing how to start a conversation. And while I went through this period of being totally closed, definitely not connected with myself, definitely not able to connect with others, then moving into very easily connecting, opening up, starting conversations with other people, and then finally getting in touch with myself and connecting on a very deep level. This was a process that I experienced. For other people, things happen very differently. For other people, maybe this is you, maybe you know someone, maybe you have witnessed someone going through similar process. It requires deeper self exploration, self understanding, connecting at first with yourself so that you become more open, more trusting to be there with others, for others, to share your stories, to be more vulnerable. So let me know. I'm really curious to explore together, to know what has been your own journey, or maybe you are now walking this journey, understanding more about yourself, learning your ways to go deep within, go deep in the connections with the people around you. And this is really fascinating. I feel like an explorer, like a scientist, because immersing myself in this type of exploration is something that is really enriching. We realize that hearing the stories of different people regardless of how different they sound and look like, we're actually discovering the things that are making us human and are connecting us across cultures, across religions, across territories, the way we do in the closed spaces that I'm hosting for my community and for my clients, for my Blooming Confidence Club members. So, connections and connectedness. Do you do you have a favorite way to prepare for a connection that goes beyond the daily interactions with people? And I'm not talking here about going out shopping and following some routines that we have our ways to greet each other when we meet and when we leave the common spaces. How are you connecting? How are you creating the environment, preparing the conditions for a deeper exploration of who is who, for a co-creation of a beautiful and meaningful conversation like the one we're doing now? We're doing it virtually, we're doing it online, we're not together. I don't see you, but I know that you see me, and I'm definitely going to go back, circle back to connect with you with your comments and also on DM. But when you happen to be in life, in a space where you value the people who are there, when you're curious and you want to develop something deeper, bigger, maybe create partnership, maybe bring people in your team, or start talking about joint venture, maybe you are in a situation where you have to present your business, then we need something more beyond the superficial level of interaction. So, what are your favorite ways? It is interesting that we all have our ways, we all have our rituals, but we're not never, or maybe we're not often aware of them. And it is interesting to start asking ourselves questions and explore. And I'm sure that if you start doing that, if you haven't been doing it until now already, you will discover some valuable tools, some valuable techniques or habits that are worthy exploring, analyzing, and even sharing with other people. From my side, I'm going to give you the answers to the questions that two of my clients ask me. Usually, I'm the one who asks questions during our group sessions, but yesterday, during the first roundtable that is now available to watch as a replay in the closed Facebook community that I host, the Clarity and Confidence Academy for Changemakers on Facebook, I asked my clients to ask me questions so we could close the roundtable. And the first question was, how do I connect with nature? And when we talk about connection, we're taking it, as I already mentioned, we're taking it beyond the superficial interactions, connecting with nature, connecting with our physicality, connecting with our essence as energy, as matter, is really helpful when we need to overcome the pressure or the limitations of our mind. And what I do is I connect with nature through first connecting with my body, with my breathing, feeling grounded. I'm using lots of approaches and techniques from martial arts, from Qigong, and from different energy body modalities that I have been learning and teaching and practicing over the years. And then when I feel certain, safe, secure, grounded within myself, then I know that I can open up a little bit to the physical environment, to the energy of people, and allow myself to connect with them as well. So here we're talking about the energetic aspect of connections and connectedness. And this is really important, especially for people who are very sensitive empaths. I don't know whether you're one of them, but I'm extremely sensitive. I am even sensitive to the energies of air, to the fluctuations of, to the energies of earth, to earthquakes, to changes of the atmospheric pressure. So I need to take special care of my body, my energy, even my thoughts, so that I feel in balance and I maintain this equilibrium. So preparing myself, even now, preparing myself for this connection with you, even though I don't see you, I feel you, is really, really important for myself. So taking care of our energy, taking care of our thought, removing thoughts and any blockages that are not serving us at the moment, taking them, putting them in a box at the table, and then opening, entering the space of connection, the conversation, writing a letter to someone, which is a form of connection, with clear mind, with clear intentions, with pure energy is really, really important. And what else do I do to connect with nature? Because nature is energy, nature is matter. I connect with the cycles, the living cycles of the moon, the solar cycles. I connect with the seasons, and I'm listening to my body, to the needs of my body. I'm responding to the triggers that are coming from the external environment. And I love to connect with the living nature. I love to connect with the trees, with the energy of water, with the energy of the mountains, with the energy of the sea, and then acknowledge each different aspect of these different forms of nature. So let me know whether this is something you resonate with, and maybe you have a story to share with me. I don't want to go beyond the short time that I have dedicated for this podcast today, but we will take it further and we will create a series of conversations on the subtopics. So let me know if you have a particular interest in any of the elements that I'm mentioning now, and then we can maybe create a whole podcast episode that is dedicated to this particular topic that you want to bring up. So this was answering how do I connect, answering the question of one of my clients, how do I connect with nature? The other question that I was asked yesterday was, how do I open to invite people to connect? And this is a really great question. I was so grateful to hear it from my client who was on the call, who was co-creating the roundtable with us yesterday, because it is an important question to consider when we, as change makers, as impact makers, as people who are serving other people with our expertise, with our talent, with our energy, it is important to learn to open up and invite people from the space of service. So what I answered yesterday and what I'm sharing now with you, and I believe it's going to be useful for you, let me know in a comment below, is whenever we feel blocked by the thoughts that were not good enough, by the voice of the inner critic telling us that maybe we're not worthy for people to listen to us. Maybe we still have to prepare and get ready to invite someone. Maybe we're not even talking about a conversation or invitation to a client to come into our space, but we simply want to connect with an old friend or a member of the family with whom we have not been in touch for many, many years. In any of these situations, my advice is first connect with your heart and then check. When you connect with your heart and you visualize the person in front of you with whom you want to make this new interaction, open a conversation, start a relationship, then when you do that, check what is the way you can create value in this interaction? What is the way you can create something to enrich this communication, to enrich this connection? Is it something, is there something that you can offer to the other person? Maybe you can create space for them so that they feel seen and heard. Maybe you can show genuine interest about how are they doing, and this is something that maybe they don't experience daily in their life. So first connect with yourself, think about the person in front of you, and check what would be the value that you will offer when you reach out to them. So, finding yourself in this space of being genuinely of service, this is going to eliminate any doubt, any block that is stopping you from reaching out to people. And I'm just taking a little pause to say, hi, Monica. So lovely to have you here. Thank you for being live with me. We're talking about connectedness. And right now, I'm answering one of the questions that I received yesterday about how do I open up and how do I get the courage to invite people to connect, reaching out to a family member, to a friend, to someone from our past with whom we have lost touch, so that it doesn't feel awkward and we don't allow the voices of the inner critic or critics stop us from opening, creating this space of connection. So let me know if you resonate and if you are doing that consciously or unconsciously. For some people, this happens really naturally. It's very easy. For others, it requires extra training. And it doesn't really matter whether you do it to enrich your business, to create more clients in or to enrich your personal life and develop more points of touch with the people around you. The most important thing is simple. You're coming from the space of providing value, creating value, being of service. So, connections, connectedness, feeling connected with yourself, opening up to connect with others in all different aspects on this topic. There is certain level of courage that is required. There is certain level of self-awareness, self-exploration, and definitely acceptance of ourselves the way we are. It happens naturally for us to be critical, to be looking at the ways we have been connecting with other people, the way we have been doing things, and we can always see that we could have done better, we could have spoken better, we could have acted or reacted or responded differently in a better way. But knowing that we are on a constant journey, and knowing also that the other people in front of us, they are on their own journeys as well, and we are never perfect the way they are never perfect. When we realize that, and when we decide to treat ourselves with deep compassion, as well as treat the people who are entering our space, crossing our journey with compassion as well, this is something that makes it possible, create space to be open, to be more inviting, as well as to be more receptive. And one particular aspect, a little different aspect that we touched yesterday during the midweek roundtable with my clients who participated in the live group process the previous day was, I lost my line of thoughts now. Coming back to myself and connected with myself, it was really, really important. Okay, I think it will come now, and maybe it was so important that really overwhelmed and changed the energy around me. But when I come back to it, I'm going to write it as a comment or as a separate post. Connecting with the body, connecting with the heart, connecting with our energy, connecting with other people, connecting with the purpose. And yes, I remembered the openness to reach out, to connect with someone when we need help. This is something very hard, especially for leaders, especially for people who are taking care of others, who are guiding others, who are change makers, who are providing services in the capacity of experts to others, especially coaches or mentors or healers and therapists. It's not that easy for us to open up and connect in this essence. As someone who needs support, who needs connection, who needs simply the space to be seen as who we are in our weak moments, in our dark moments. And this is one of my big motivations to be creating these communities that I'm offering both as free communities and as paid communities. This is my motivation to be sharing public my stories. And today marks 1 year since I told my very vulnerable story of being broken down and feeling broken in my heart. I did it last year at one of the editions of the Fuck Up Nights in Sofia. This is a big international chain of events. So I was honored to be able to share my story with 400 people, a live audience. So when we allow ourselves to be seen as who we are, to be really honest, this happens when we develop, and this is a continuous process. When we start developing this connectedness with ourselves, then this is an invitation for other people to do the same, to connect with themselves, and then to open up and open out for someone else to be connecting with them. And while I'm talking now, what comes to my mind is the metaphor of breaths, breathing in and breathing out, the pulsation, opening out and opening inside. Do you feel that? The same way we can be constantly going through this process of closing and opening, recalibrating ourselves, reconnecting with ourselves, and constantly connecting and keeping in touch with the world around us. The topic of connectedness, connectedness with ourselves, connectedness with others. This is a topic that I can be talking for hours. But what I love to do is I love to have a live audience, and that's why I am creating the communities I already mentioned. So I invite you to join me. Click the link below under this video to explore whether my free Facebook community is the right place for you. If you're interested in the Blooming Confidence Club, there are 3 tiers of participation. You might find that one of these 3 different levels is the right fit for you, depending on how ready are you to stepping up, to leveling up as a change maker. And I love to co-create because this is my nature. This is part of my human design. This is part of, I don't know what else, but I'm a person that needs the energy of the people in front of me to channel their wisdom, my wisdom, the universal wisdom. And for now, I'm going to close it here. Feel free to share your feedback, your insights, any questions, so that we continue co creating. For now, I'm sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. I will see you again next Thursday at the next Heartfelt Conversation, the topic for which will become known on Tuesday when I create another beautiful process, the case retreat session, which is a beautiful, very deep, very healing group process I facilitate, in which all present people are the coaches for one brave individual in the center who shares with us the present challenge they're going through, and we all support in a very structured way, giving our love, our compassion, our wisdom. So during this session on Tuesday, I will extract the topic for the next Heartfelt Conversation, but book this time and be ready to join me the way we did it today. Thank you, everyone who was live with me today. Thank you, everyone who is watching the replay. Feel free to connect privately with me. As I said, I am connective. I love connections. I love to create them. I love to join different spaces offered by like minded people. And I invite you also to join mine. Until soon, much love and thank you. Thank you for today.